Domain expansions are considered to be the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery, and in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, being able to enclose your opponent inside your domain expansion may be the difference between winning or losing, for the most part. So in this video, I will be going over and explaining every single domain expansion that we have seen so far. However, I will cover it in the specific order we have already seen them revealed, so there will be a spoiler warning once we reach manga-only territory to not spoil it for those who haven't been caught up. As the name suggests, the Jujutsu sorcerers use a massive amount of curse energy to expand his or her innate domain and use a barrier to construct a separate space. By imbuing their curse technique inside the barrier, the domain expansion is created, allowing for an undodgeable sure hit effect. Now, a technique as overpowered as this cannot be easily activated. In order for a domain expansion to take effect, a specific hand sign and chant are required to be performed for each respective domain. While in the past, domain expansions were commonly used since they weren't constructed to be fatal, they were merely used as a way to force a target to be caught inside and have to follow specific rules pertaining to the curse technique of the domain caster. However, over time, more domains were created with the effect of becoming fatal, and this decreased the number of sorcerers able to create one exponentially. And while still today there are several who use domain expansions as something more than a sure kill, it is definitely less common. Now, domain expansions are not all good. They come with massive drawbacks. It requires way too much curse energy to be able to activate a domain expansion, so much so that Satoru Gojo is literally one of the very few individuals who can use it more than once a day. There were also a few ways domain expansions can be countered, one of them being simple domains. These practically nullify the effect of a domain expansion by neutralizing the barrier, or by causing a domain clash. When more than one domain expansion is casted at the same time, only the one more refined will take effect over the other. Now let's talk about all the domain expansions we have currently seen. First up is Jogo's Coffin of the Iron Mountain. By activating this, Jogo is able to trap a target inside a volcano. Jogo is not only able to control the entire volcano, he is able to make it hot enough to combust his enemies. Then there's Gojo's Unlimited Void, a domain expansion that once caught inside, it overflows the brain with an endless amount of information, causing anyone inside it to become immobile for a period of time. Sukuna's Malevolent Shrine, one of the very few and very rare domains to not have a closed-off range, but can be extended as far as 200 meters or 220 yards. Anything inside this range that possesses curse energy will be cut up with Cleave. Any inanimate object will be cut up with Dismantle. Mahito's Self-Embodiment of Perfection. It enhances Mahito's idol transfiguration to an extent that he is able to manipulate the souls of anyone caught inside the domain, even if he isn't physically touching them. The Smallpox Deity's domain expansion. It traps the target inside a coffin, then buries it by making a very heavy boulder fall on top of the coffin. Then a 3-second counter starts. If the target is unable to escape the coffin, they will be infected with smallpox and die. Fushiguro's Chimera Shadow Guardian. It is an incomplete domain expansion that fills the area surrounding Megumi with a thick black fluid that summons countless of Shikigami. Dogon's Horizon of the Captivating Skanda. The most recent domain expansion we have seen. It creates a beach-like environment where Dogon can control the water, as well as the Shikigami who materialize only once they have hit the target. Starting from this point forward, we will only cover manga content, so spoilers ahead. Hiromi Higuruma's Deadly Sentencing. It creates an area looking like a courthouse where Higuruma imposes a trial. This is one of the few examples of a domain expansion that is not a one-hit fatal attack. While inside the domain, violence is strictly prohibited until the trial is over. A Shikigami looks over the proceedings, and after a trial has been carried, either a guilty sentence is carried, in which Higuruma can strip away the curse energy from someone and be able to kill them with the Executioner's Sword, where anyone cut by the sword dies, without any exception. Hakari's Idle Death Gamble, one of the most complicated domain expansions in the entire series that deserves its own video. When activated, Hakari spawns pachinko machines and plays on them until a specific scenario or a jackpot is hit. Once the jackpot is achieved, Hakari receives an unlimited amount of curse energy for 4 minutes and 11 seconds. he is also able to activate his domain expansion once again and continue hitting jackpots, resetting his timer. Naoya Zening's Time Cell Moon Palace, although very oddly looking, it essentially forces everyone caught in it to get injected with a movie reel and forced to follow the 24 frames per second rule of animation. If they don't, they will be damaged with every single movement. Another weirdly looking domain expansion is Yoruzu's Threefold Affliction. We weren't able to see its full potential because she got folded by Sukuna very easily, but it helps her connect anything she constructs with the target. And lastly, we have Kenjaku's Womb Profusion. It materializes a totem-looking thing with a bunch of cursed spirits-looking faces everywhere. It's nasty. Then it blasts anything within its range with a force similar to Geto's Maximum Uzumaki. Now those are all the domain expansions we have seen so far. Hopefully we will be able to get some explanation as to what Yuta's domain expansion is in the future, but for now this is all we got. Make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this video.